Hello and welcome to another edition of Coach's Notes. This is for the week of June the 14th to the 19th. So we finally get to start our press cycle. We should have done a 3-rep max push press last Monday and the 1-rep max split jerk. From what I saw, everybody's were about in distance what I thought they would be for a 3-rep max push press to a split jerk. Some people's were a little bit closer, so I probably think it's mostly technique based and not strength based. If they can do a 3-rep max push press at the same weight as they're doing a split jerk, that probably just means their technique needs a little help, which is what we're doing for the next few weeks. So Monday, we're starting our press cycle. Lydia's laying on the floor having a little ball down there.
What?
You're in the camera, just so you know.
Oh.
So what we're doing is we're gonna do the same tempo work that we did for the deadlifts with our push presses. So we're gonna do 5 sets of 4 reps, that's my bad, 5 sets of 4 reps with a return tempo for the push press. With the deadlift, you can kind of do tempo up, tempo down, but you can't really tempo a push press up or you're doing a strict press. So we're going to press, hold 1 second at the top, come back down 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, hold 1 Mississippi here, press, 1 Mississippi, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. So on the way back down, what they're focused on is staying tight, keeping that bar close to their face so it comes straight back down. It doesn't come down like this. And then really feeling that pattern on the way down. Also, all that isometric help with the arms, make the arms stronger for the push press and the split jerk. So we're doing 5 sets of 4 reps of that, about a 50 to 60% weight. We don't want to go really heavy with these. The time under tension is a lot, especially when you're doing 4 sets for essentially 6 seconds every 4 reps. So you're looking at like a 30-second set instead of what a normally 4-rep push press would be, which is like 5 seconds. So it's a lot of time under tension, so they don't have to be heavy. They will feel heavy even if they're at 50% or less. Then we're doing, for the split jerk, we're working totally just technique. We are doing presses in the split. So I'm in this split of the split jerk, I get set with the bar, and then I'm pressing overhead. So, we're doing 3 sets of 5 presses. What we're looking for here, can you move just for a second? You're like right where I need to stand. Sorry. We're looking for these feet to be in a good position. So this front leg shouldn't be at a backwards angle or at a forwards angle. We want that front shin nice at a good straight down line. This back leg also should be underneath your butt. Right underneath this hip should be that knee and it should be bent. So when I go this way, you can see this a little better. Because what this does is it allows that ability to stand up and sink. Essentially you're in a lunge. The people that end up splitting like this are gonna lose that bar forward every time because that back leg is pushing you forward off the floor and that knee's not bent. So we want a nice good bent back knee, not a straight leg. So when we set up, you can even give them like a corner of the mats on the floor so they can put 1 foot in one corner, 1 foot in the opposite corner and get in a nice good split position. Then they'll just press from here. So what this is doing is it's telling your brain this is where my feet go every time. So we want them feet far apart, maybe 6 inches in between the feet, distance-wise this way. Nice bent back leg, nice vertical front shin. That way when it gets heavy, they can sink under it and stand it back up. Workout for the day is called Jelly Belly. We are doing 3 rounds of 21 toes to bar and 21 front squats. So it's a total midline crusher. With that many toes to bar and that many front squats, all of these abs are gonna be screaming. So some people might feel their grip go, they might feel their lats go first, because with that front rack, I've gotta use my lats to hold the barbell up. And then I've gotta use my lats when I swing on the bar. But total midline, because of toes to bar with the compression and front squats with having to squat and keep your chest upright. The weight on that is 95-65, so it's not too heavy. It's meant to be more of a fast workout. Do big sets of toes to bar, do big sets of front squats. If people want to scale up and go a little bit heavier, that is fine, they are allowed to do so, with the caveat that they still need to be able to do big sets. I don't want them to scale it up to 115 pounds and be doing singles or sets of 3 on the front squat, where it takes them 7 sets to get through. Ideally, we want big sets. For the toes to bar, let's not do V-ups this week. Let's either do hanging knee raises or maybe some lying toes to bar, where you hold the rig behind your head and you bring your toes to the rig. Because ideally we want to try to keep those arms stationary and have them actually try to use their lats. When they do V-ups, you're not really using any of your lats. You're using momentum and compression. So we want them to either do hanging knee raises or maybe lying, holding the rig, like lay on the floor, hold onto the rig, and bring their toes to the rig. That's Monday. Tuesday, we have a workout that I really like. I think I might do Tuesdays workouts in this style. I might be flip-flopping Tuesdays and Wednesdays and do these kind of back and forth over the summer, especially with the heat. I feel like these will work really well for our gym. What we're doing is 3 5-minute AMRAPs with a 3-minute rest in between both, in between the AMRAPs. So your first 5-minute AMRAP is 5 handstand push-ups, 10 burpees to a ring or bar that's 6 inches away. So they'll do 5 handstand push-ups or 5 pike push-ups or 5 box push-ups, and then do 10 burpees jumping to something that is out of reach. So ideally it's 6 inches away from your reach. If you jump 6 inches, if they can't find something that's that high, just jump something that you have to actually jump to touch. You should be able to reach out and touch it. You should have to jump and touch it. So you do burpee, jump, and touch that. So it's an AMRAP. 5 handstand push-ups, 10 burpees, jumping to something you have to touch. Then we're doing a 3-minute rest. Then you have a 5-minute AMRAP of 5 power cleans, 10 bar facing burpees. Again, if they want to lower the weight, they can. The weight is set at 155, 115. 5 power cleans, 10 bar facing burpees. Then you rest 3 more minutes, and then the last 5-minute AMRAP is 5 muscle ups and 10 burpees to something 6 inches away. So with the muscle ups, they can be ring or bar. We can substitute pull-ups or ring rows for those. They can also do jumping muscle ups if they'd like. They want to lower, if they want to, the rings that are under the rig, if they want to put them about like chest height instead of hip height and jump and press into those. If you want to lower some of the rings on the floor to where they're like hanging and they can jump and press, or get a box and stand on those and jump and do the muscle up. If they want to do jumping muscle ups, they can do those to a bar, like on the rig or to the rings. They can do them on the low ground if they want to, where you strap the bar into the rig and you jump and do the muscle up as well. So if they want to do jumping muscle ups in any form, real muscle ups in any form, pull ups or ring rows, they can for that one. So the score for that one is total rounds and reps. So just keep track of how much they've done. So if they get 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 2 rounds, and 5, then that's 9 rounds plus 5 reps. The accessory for that day is going to be 8 hanging flutter kicks. So what that will look like, I am not good at these and I am working on them, is essentially they're going to hang from the bar, bring their legs up and kick, and try to keep their legs high, and there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hanging flutter kicks and then 8 side V-ups. So instead of doing a V-up, where I go here, I'm gonna roll over to my side, use my arm, sorry, you can't really see that. Roll over to my side, use the arm that's underneath my shoulder kind of as a stabilizer, a little bit farther out than I would use it as a plank, and then V up to the side. And you're doing 8 aside on those for 3 rounds. So that's all core work. The side V-ups are a whole lot easier than normal V-ups. Which is why they're paired with the hanging flutter kicks, because they're a lot harder. People don't want to hang from the bar and do flutter kicks. They can lay on the floor and do flutter kicks. They can sit on the end of a bench and do flutter kicks as well. All right, that is Tuesday. Wednesday, we're doing a choose your own adventure EMOM. I'm excited about this one. These are usually really fun for people. So I have about 10 different movements they can choose from. They're gonna pick 5 and make their own EMOM. So we're gonna do a 30-minute EMOM with 5 movements, so you do 6 rounds of each. We have a ton of different movements in there that they can do. They'll pick 5 and repeat those 5. So we have, they can row for a minute, nice and easy, just a row. 1 to 2 rope climbs. They can do a down and back waiter carry, so that's overhead. Down and back farmer carry. They can do 10 weighted lunges aside, which could be front rack, back rack, hanging, dumbbells, barbell. They can do 15 box jumps. 15 heavy Russian kettlebell swings, So I'm talking 70 pounds for guys, 50 pounds for girls, Russian right to the chest, not eye level, just right to the chest, arms straight out. They can do a sled push outside. They can accumulate 45 seconds in a plank or accumulate 30 seconds hanging from the bar. So those are all the things they can choose from. They pick the 5 they want to do, and then you go for a 30-minute EMOM. So it might be a little bit chaotic for the coaches just because you don't know what everybody is doing, but none of these things will be a ton of technique or high skill, so you shouldn't need to worry about trying to watch someone hurt themselves or watch someone do something crazy. It's not like we're watching heavy snatches or watching them try to learn muscle ups. It's a little bit more low skill, so this will just be encouraging them and coaching them. When you see technique flaws, like if someone's weight or carry, their elbow is dropping and their shoulders are really dropping, or maybe they're pressing their shoulder really high and their elbow's dropping, perfect chance to say, hey, shoulder down, straighten that elbow out. Farmers carry, same thing. If they're hunched over or their arms are swinging, as they farmer carry, just be like, hey, upright, hands by your sides the whole time. So things like that you can coach that are easy. The EMOM should give them somewhere between 15 to 45 seconds of rest, depending on what they choose to do and how fast they are at that thing. I think it'll be really fun for people. Warm up, again, will be a little bit coach's choice, kind of chaotic. If you want to start the class with, hey, this is a choose your own adventure EMOM, pick your 5 things and then warm up yourself for 15 minutes. Or if you want to pick 5 things, everybody maybe has the similar things, you can warm them up together. But ideally, for a warm up, what we're looking for is getting their heart rate up and getting them mobile, kind of get their joints flowing, and giving a little bit of specific instruction. So when we do things like the presses or the deadlifts, we're looking for high heart rate, things that are warming up the shoulders and the hips and the hamstrings, and then things that are that same kind of hinging or pressing pattern. For this, it will more just be get the heart rate up, get them warm and loose. And all of the stuff, most of it this week is inside, can be in front of a fan, so when it gets super hot, it's not crazy. And there's rest built into most of these, so they go for a little bit and then rest, and it's not like a 30-minute onslaught of nothing but movement. Thursday's deadlift cycle, week 3. I'm excited about this. So we have 6 sets of 4 reps at 4 seconds tempo. So last week we did 6 sets of 4 reps at 3 second tempo. So we're adding a second to the tempo. So again, we start on the floor for 1 Mississippi. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, hold 1 Mississippi here, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, back down. These are difficult. People should not be going super heavy on these. 50% really is a good sweet spot. If they want to go a little heavier, that's also fine. I'm telling you, time under tension is a crazy thing because it will get them stronger, especially with these concentric and eccentric slow reps. They will get people stronger and they are really difficult. So don't let people go crazy heavy. They should really be trying to stick around 50-60%, nothing heavier than that. I heard some comments that people's backs were hurting because of this. So if someone complains their back is hurting, one, it could be their technique. If you watch them and their technique's great and you're like, I don't think it's their technique, have them roll their quads and their hamstrings with either a lacrosse ball or a foam roller in between their sets, because it could just be that one of those 2 things is tight, maybe even the calves. So calves, hamstrings, quads, it could just be that one of those is, they don't feel it as tight or knotty or sore, but that muscle might be saying, I can't really lift all of this, so I'm gonna recruit back muscles to help me. So have them roll out quads, hamstrings, calves, and see if that changes anything. The other thing is hard to see. The last thing that I would say is probably the problem that is hard to see is when people do tempo work and they go back down, they like to load their back in kind of an RDL fashion. And then when it gets down here, then they start to deadlift with their legs. So it's really hard to get someone to reverse, essentially eccentric deadlift with their legs. But just let them know, like, unlock their knees before they go. They're not bending their knees or squatting, but just let them unlock their knees and then try to deadlift backwards with the knees unlocked a little bit. If that's awkward for them and that doesn't really work and they don't understand what that means, tell them to try to keep pushing the floor away as they let the barbell back down. So as they stand up, it shouldn't be on pulling the bar away, it should be on pushing the floor away. So tell them to push with their feet So like even now with no weight, I'm pushing the floor away with my feet and I can feel it all in my hamstrings. So I'm pushing the floor away, pushing the floor away, pushing the floor away. Let me see with the breath. Push the floor away, push the floor away, push the floor away. So that should also help. If they think about it both ways, is pushing the floor away. I would say for a lot of people, it's probably something to do with low back tightness, hamstring tightness, quad tightness, or calf tightness. So if they roll those things out, that will help. If they can, use a lacrosse ball, because the foam rollers at the gym are a lot rounder and they're kind of soft, so they don't do a whole lot of actually mobilizing any of that tissue. They'll work and they're fine, but if they can use a lacrosse ball, I try to get them on a lacrosse ball. Then the workout for that day is called Now and Later. Another partner day, it's an AMRAP of 12 minutes, 10 box jumps, 10 hang squat snatches. It's a you go, I go, so one partner will do 10 and 10, the other partner will do 10 and 10. For this, the weight for the hang squat snatches is up to them, something they can do for at least 3 reps at a time, and that they won't ever be forced to do singles with. Friday, I'm excited, bear complex. I love a good bear complex, it's one of my favorites. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find a heavy bear complex in 10 minutes. So a bear complex, if you don't remember, is clean, front squat, push press or push jerk, back rack, back squat, behind the neck press. So they can do it that way. They can go power clean, stand up, front squat, stand up, push press, stand up, back rack, back squat, stand up, push press, 1 rep, right? Or if they want to do a squat clean thruster into a back squat thruster, they can. So what that might look like is squat into press, back squat into press. It's also acceptable either way. If they want to merge the clean and the power clean in the front squat, they want to merge the front squat and the push press for a thruster. They want to merge the back squat and the press for a back squat thruster, totally acceptable. After they find a max for the day, not like trying to PR or anything, just a heavy for the day, they're gonna do 7 by 7 of the bear complex. So you gotta pick a weight, you can do 7 reps unbroken of that, and then take a rest. So 7 sets of 7, but the 7 reps must be unbroken. So what we're looking for is the bear complex. This is where I would say use the squat clean thruster and the back squat thruster. So you'll do 7 reps. So that was rep 6. Come back down. 7, then I can put the bar down. Rest for a couple seconds, pick the bar back up and go again. It's 4 time. We also want to note the weight they used in the notes section of Wodify. So give me the time it takes them to do it and what weight they used. But 7 reps must be unbroken. So 7 sets of 7 unbroken reps. Then the last thing for accessory on that Friday is 4 rounds of internal, external rotations. So that's a lot of shoulder work and a lot of squatting, a lot of shoulder work for the week. So we're gonna do some internal, external rotations. So I'm gonna take you over to my rig to show you. So we're gonna take a super light band. Doesn't have to be anything crazy heavy. The red and the purple, the red and the orange. The red and the orange ones will be totally fine. We'll loop that band through. And they can stretch out, they can hold in the middle of the band, they can hold in the end of the band. It is up to that person how tight they want this to be. But essentially we're doing rotations this way, so to my stomach, to a 90-degree angle here, stomach, 90-degree angle here. Switch hands, again, 90-degree angle here to my stomach. This is my internal rotation. This is my external rotation. And then I'll switch hands. So I'll turn around, and then once I've turned around, you can see my arms have switched. So now I'm doing my internal rotations with this arm and my external rotations with this arm. So really they should be able to do 8-8, turn, 8-8, turn, 8-8, turn, 8-8, turn, and be totally fine. We're also still doing the 500 rep kettlebell squat challenge. So try to get people in on that. Try to do those yourself. Put your scores on the board. We're gonna make a little plaque or a picture or something and put it on the wall, and we're gonna try to keep doing these Thinking next time we'll do push-ups. Since we did squats this time, we'll do a press movement next time. Maybe sit-ups, one of the two. Saturday, I've got Helen program, so it's run, kettlebell swings, and pull-ups. The weather, if it's like crazy hot and y'all don't want to run, you can row instead of run, or if y'all don't want to do that workout, just get with me and let me know what you're thinking. As long as it's not really pressing overhead, we're most likely okay, because Monday is obviously our press cycle. As long as we stay away from pressing overhead, we're totally fine. So nothing like strict press, push press, split jerks. We don't want to do thrusters or anything like that before that Monday. It's like a wild motorcycle. Everything's looking great. The deadlift weight, when I checked from 1 rep max to what they did for the tempos, looked almost right on par. Super stoked for this. I think with learning the snatch technique last time and then kind of doing the presses and the deadlifts now with that pulling from the floor and the overhead strength, I think this will benefit what we did with the snatches. And then I think this will really benefit what we're gonna do next cycle with cleans, because we'll have done squats, we've done deadlifts, so we've done pulls from the floor, we've done presses overhead, so clean and jerks would be next. And I think people's PRs are just gonna go through the roof. I'm excited for next week. If you have any questions, let me know. If I put something wrong in a WADA file, let me know. If I have errors or whatever, I can go fix them. I think I got all of the scores stuff right this week. I split the presses into 2 things on Monday, so you should be able to put in 2 different scores. Yeah, I'm excited for this week. It's gonna look good. I'm definitely gonna come and do classes sometime this week, because I really like what I wrote this week. I'm getting better at this, so have fun this week.